How to be the perfect non-exec director. Is there such a thing? Well, there are certainly a few things that are going to help you make you better than other people. The first thing is the numbers. So you're not an accountant. That doesn't matter. If you are, of course, we do expect you to be very financially literate. But it's certainly not all about the numbers. But if you can't read a P&L account, a balance sheet, and understand a cash flow, and translate that into language that other people around the table understand, you're not going to get very far. The non-exec director's role is to ask the hard and difficult questions. Probably the most challenging words that you can use in a board meeting is why. Why are we doing this? Why aren't we doing this? Your job isn't to pull apart the executive team, but rather to help constructively challenge their proposals, bring a new dimension to it. So don't be afraid of your voice. Having said that, don't dominate the conversations. Make sure the other people around the table have their turn. There are all sorts of different types of non-exec directors, including investing neds. Those are people that actually put money in the business. However, I prefer the independent kind. And by that, I mean that you can walk away when it's necessary to do so. Being a non-exec director isn't any different in terms of liability to being an executive director. You have absolute liability for every decision that is made as part of that board, even if you were against it, unless of course you resign. So I think it's better to remain independent. Therefore, I never take shares in businesses. I never take a consultancy role alongside that NED role. It's all about being at that table for that company. So being a non-exec means you've got to open your little black book. One of the reasons that NEDs can add a huge amount of value to a company is because of the people and the contacts that they have. So don't be afraid of sharing that information. Often I'll join a business and not really know immediately where I can add value from my black book, but it soon becomes obvious, whether that's a HR specialist or a marketeer or a technology person or even entry into a customer or supplier. That's got to be part of the job. Pick low-hanging fruit quickly and you'll make yourself endearing. Remember, it's not about the money. If you're doing this purely for the money, you're never going to succeed. Of course, that isn't to say that you shouldn't be paid appropriately, but it's so much more than that. It's about being part of the strategic direction of the business, giving your input and making a difference to how that company is going to progress.